we have a table which have one side cause, which I will write my cause in it, and the other side I will write the effect. The first one, humans' activities by adding buildings and roads or by throwing substance to the water or overfish. What will be the effect of it? Change in the environment and the climate, such as increasing temperature of the ocean water. What else we can think about? Changing the environment and change in climate. This is the cause. So what will be the effect? Habitat loss for many different organisms. The last one we have is the habitat loss. This is the cause. So the effect will be extinction of many species of living organisms. Now, let's go back to our text. Now, we need to think, how will the rise of temperature due to human activities affect coral reefs? إزاي ارتفاع الحرارة هيأثر على الcoral reefs? This is what we will focus on the second part of our text. Take your time to read it. I'm sure that you now understand why we wear the coral reefs white in the second image. The coral reefs get their beautiful colors from the algae living in their tissues. The coral reefs are also a habitat for a large number of species. When water temperature rises, corals get rid of the algae living in their tissues. This causes the coral reefs turn completely white, and we call it coral bleaching. At the end, coral reefs do not stand this change and gradually die. A variety of fish communities that lives in the coral reefs also get affected. وكتير كمان من الأسماك اللي بتتغذى على الكورال ريفز دي بتتأثر. This also affects tourism and fishing activities. Now you can answer the question in your book. Let's check the questions on our textbook. The first question is, why are healthy habitats important to all organisms in a food web? Let's see what our friend thinks of.
Healthy habitats are important. They provide their organisms with food and shelter.
Right. Healthy habitats are important to the food webs. They provide their living organisms with the basic needs to survive. بمعنى إن لازم نحافظ على المواطن الطبيعية صحية ومتوفر فيها كل الاحتياجات للكائنات عشان تضمن البقاء للشبكات الغذائية. And our second question is, how might the loss of the coral reef change the ocean food web?
Loss of coral reefs has a negative impact on the food web. Organisms and fish depend on reefs for food and shelter.
Excellent! Loss of coral reefs has a negative impact on the food web and the human communities that depends on coral reefs and fish as food. وفقدان المواطن الطبيعية زي الكورال ريفز هيأثر على الكائنات اللي بتعيش فيها وبتعتمد عليها. I want you to record this as evidence in your notebook. Climate change and pollution cause habitat loss and destroys the ecosystem. Now, let's think of other factors that can affect the marine life. Do you know that one of the most common factors that causes pollution of the ecosystem in the oceans and lakes is something we all use every day? Guess what? Plastic bags. أيوة، الأكياس والشنط البلاستيكية. But how do these plastic bags end up in the ocean? Let's get to know that in our Analyze Like a Scientist activity, which has a title of Plastic Pollution. We will watch a video, but before watching, we will use one of the strategies of the Egyptian Knowledge Bank called GUESS 412. So, I will show you 4 different images from our video, then I will give you a fact about each image. You need to look for the evidence that support this fact from the video. You will have to find the 2 evidence at least. These are our 2 images. Look closely at them. The first image is the fact that plastic is one of the most harmful wastes to the environment. And the second one is the fact that most of plastics in the ocean come from land. Record these facts in your notebook and collect evidence from the video that prove they are true. When we come back, we will discuss together.
Why is plastic so common? Well, it's lightweight, it's durable, and it doesn't biodegrade or get broken down by bacteria, like, say, paper does. And while this might seem good for transporting your soda, chips, and cheese cheaply over long distances while keeping them fresh, there are downsides to plastics.
Durability comes with its downsides. Once a piece of plastic is made, it's going to hang around for hundreds of years or more. It's true that plastic things can often be recycled, but many of them are only recycled one time before being thrown away. Did you know that plastic is made from petroleum? It seems weird that we would throw away something made from a non-renewable resource after only using it once or twice.
Since plastic is light, it can be picked up by the wind and float in water. Plastics blown into our waterways are easily moved around by waves and currents.
Around 8 million tons of plastic end up in the ocean every year, and most of it comes from land. That's like dumping one garbage truck full of plastic into the ocean every minute.
Wind patterns keep the ocean in motion. Ocean currents can move a piece of debris far away from where it started. 1 year after a tsunami carried a teenager soccer ball off the coast of Japan, it washed up on the beach in Alaska nearly 3,000 miles away.
Large-scale surface currents move water around ocean basins in a circular direction. They're called gyres. Plastics and other trash get pulled into the middle of these gyres and become trapped, creating a concentrated sea of debris.
So why don't we just take a big ship out there and scoop it all up?
تقدر تتابع كل دروسك على تطبيق مدرستنا بلس. مدرستنا، المستقبل يبدأ الآن.